All righty, let's call the meeting to order for May 28th. At this time, everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And you know what? We did this to the other newspaper reporter. Charles, you're going to lead us today.
All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Charles. Play ball. And now, okay, we'll call our roll now. Mr. Howell's on the phone. Here. Okay, Mr. Sigmund here, and I'm here. Say we're all present. First thing we want to do is any communications that we, other than what I've received here.
I want to get a signing sheet out there at the time.
I don't see
I know
any.
you're here for the one matter, right? So you don't need to speak until then.
Okay. One thing, okay,
I think that's it.
one thing I noticed, and not really communications, was kind of a nice piece. I got this a couple of days ago, finally looked at it, this West Virginia Executive Magazine. And they've got a feature in here. Occasionally they'll take a section of the state and salute a certain area or promote it. This is called Fueling Growth, People Project Shaping Harrison County. And it's several pages here. You go in like the third pages back, and it's got this beautiful article. See here, Clarksburg Utility Project supports the community. And it's a nice story talking about growth in Harrison County and the size of the water board. Water is very important. We have an economic development, and about the water board dedicated to improving our service and on and on. And some quotes from Jason in it. And it tells about the project. It's got pictures and see picture right
Bobby Tinney made
Pike
it in
Street.
there.
Oh, wow.
You with your mouth open pointing at something.
There you are, Bob. So anyway, I want to point out a very
Right,
nice
man.
feature about the Clarksburg Water Board in the Executive Magazine.
Number
And
one.
I didn't know it.
RPR
He
right
didn't
there.
know it. It was a total surprise. So I opened it up. So I told him, I said, you got to see this.
I believe I know who put it in there.
All right.
She got my quotes. Oh, that's a she.
Okay.
Already giving it up.
All right, folks, let's move on.
Mary does a good
Cheat sheet over here. How about moving right into the approval of the minutes? We
Make a
have
motion.
2 meetings to approve minutes for the regular meeting on Wednesday, the 14th. That's the one, that's the one we have. Because we had the work session that day, plus rolling right into a regular meeting. So what's the pleasure?
Gonna make a motion that we approve both of the meetings.
It's a motion on the floor by Mr. Sigmund. It's been seconded. Any discussion about the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye, unanimous. Financial items, go right into it, Mr. Manager and
Yep.
Jason and
Mr. Farrell,
Jason.
want to present the financial statements for month ending April 30th, 2025?
Let's go ahead and go to last page. And they work with those numbers.
I go to my bookmark, right?
There you go.
And let me see here, I gotta find this.
Should be under.
I got it, financial statements.
Yep, take it right to it.
Well, it says will be presented, so.
Yep, he flipped it. He must not have got the one on sync. Sync's got the financials on. Did you pull yours off sync?
Yeah, also.
Yeah, here.
I was only, thought this is over here, financial bottom right here.
Should I go to sync on that?
Right
Yeah,
here.
you need to use your sync folder. Mr. Farrell drove out here last night, so got uploaded today.
We're new at this, Susan, so I figured.
You don't have electronic stuff?
We do, but I don't.
I like paper, but we're going paperless, save the environment.
Well, I've got these 2 screens and.
Oh, you got it's right on your desk.
I can't. I'll save it. Somebody's showing me.
I'm looking, I'm on here now, I'm looking. I got the board packets and all that.
Yep. Should be May 28th.
It wasn't there earlier, so.
No, I just uploaded about an hour ago.
Do I go to the bookmarks now?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I went in another way. That's the reason. Financial statements.
Yep. Should take you right to it.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
And you took yours off the same, pull it up. Same.
Yes.
it went off as soon as I hit it. Okay.
Under four bags, right?
All right.
Yeah, it's on us, it's double checking.
Come on, won't go up and down.
You just gotta flip it.
Oh. My hands must have been.
Huh.
You don't have enough static.
You trouble with this while I go there. I have to go over I have to actually
Use
go
the
over to
bar.
the little bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
It won't do it in the middle of the picture like the other ones.
You can use your pen.
All right. Yeah, I see the pen. Okay, here we are. All right, Jason, who's gonna take off?
Mr. Harrell?
Alright. Alright, we'll go to the last page, informational sheet, which covers everything. We're 83.33% through the fiscal year. We had $3,794,600 in cash on hand. Your debt service ratio is 2.68, which is fairly good for where we're at. Our current water sales is $8,004,380, which is 87.73% of our or 87.73% of our budget. So we're over budget currently over budget by 4.39%. Our total water revenue, or total revenues is $8,557,928, which that puts us at 88.01% of our budget, which we're over budget total there by 4.68%. Our total operating expenses are $5,979,069, which puts us at 73.886% of our budget, that puts us under budget by 9.47%. And currently chemicals are at 77.94% of our budget, so they are currently under budget as well.
Any questions
I
for
don't have any
Jason?
questions on that.
Al?
No, I don't have any questions.
Paul?
Paul? Okay, motion to approve the
I make the motion that
financial
we
report.
approve the financial report as presented.
It's been duly seconded. Any further questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Okay, let's move on to the general manager's report.
Sure, Water System Improvements Project Phase 3A and 3B. Bud Smith?
That's Bobby Lake.
Bobby, you go ahead and do your updates and then he'll jump in after you.
Well, 3A, so contract one is Bear. They finished the line on Ohio Avenue, North Ohio Avenue. They're gonna test it tomorrow. And concrete that trench from the emergency squad up to the Notre Dame practice field. Then they'll continue up West Virginia Avenue to just past 14th, and then they're gonna run up 14th and do all those lines all the way back to Franklin. Contract two is Doss. They're in Heartland. They've got that line tested down Heartland Avenue and around Verdun and South Alexander. They did receive some of their brass fittings. So they're going to start installing services on that street as well. Contract three is D&M. They're still on hold to start up here on Kramer in September. Contract four is Independence. They're on Pike Street currently putting in services. They've got that line tested all the way down to past Oak Street. So they've got services in all the way, almost to Knights of Columbus. So they've got one more block to go to put services in. And then they're going to drop back and start doing the side street tie-ins, and we'll have to coordinate who's going to be out when they do those tie-ins. That's all for the 3A.
When it's raining hard like that, they can continue to work.
They tried this morning. They
Because it'd
busted
be
out.
water that's getting deep.
Yeah, it busted out. Hey, they didn't finish today. Bear worked a little bit today, trying to get a line prepared so they could test.
West Virginia Avenue, where are we coming off of the hill?
We're at 12th Street, at the end of 12th now.
Yeah,
So they're gonna start up West Virginia
They come
probably.
down from the Appalachian Tower down
They
to the
come all the
bottom.
way down
and You're
to
in the
12th.
bottom.
They got a little piece to run up 12th. Then they're gonna go up past 14th
Okay,
and stop and then back up and go 14th all the way to Franklin.
okay,
Just start branching off.
gotcha. Any questions, guys? Good job, Bobby, and
All right.
really, thanks for keeping everybody informed.
Mhm.
Seen a lot of publicity, social media, newspaper, television even.
Yeah.
I just wish they wouldn't show the gas company and tear up stuff and say it's our project.
We're
Okay,
getting a lot of that.
yeah.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of
All right, well, thank you. Let's move on
claims
to the
that
next
they're
item,
causing.
manager.
Okay, Doug?
3B, we are, again, preparing the preliminary engineering report for phase, 3B. We have, just a general estimated, project budget of about $50 million on that. We're trying to whittle that scale down, hopefully meet with Jason, I think, next week, early next week. On
Yeah,
that.
we'll nail down something, yeah, sounds good.
So that includes about $19 million of money for the lead service line work. We've already talked about, hopefully getting that from Kathy Emery and the DEP. It'll include, right now, we are anticipating, we're putting at least in the preliminary engineering report that we're going to get $9 million from CDS grants. We know that's probably not going to be there, but we want to put it in there. And then that leaves us a shortfall of about $22 million plus or minus to work with. We assume that'll be a loan from the drinking water state revolving fund. That might be some combination of the drinking water fund as well as the Infrastructure and Jobs Development Council money. But at least now we want to put some funding mechanism in there, and then we'll iron out those details as those funds become available, because they haven't been allocated yet, so we don't know how much we can ask for from those groups. But again, what we wanted to do was get on their slate as soon as we can, so the earliest date we can get in there is by June the 10th. That means that they will bring it up at the end of July, and in consideration, the first part of August would be when it actually meets the council meeting. So it's kind of where we're at on phase 3B.
So 19, how much is for the hydrants? Because I know we kind of did it in priority order.
I don't have those numbers
So I'm
yet.
just wondering how much we're gonna have for transmission line replacement.
Yeah, so what we did, so far what we've done is we said, okay, all the things we have to have are, we want to do the lead service
Lead service lines
period.
first. They have to.
Next thing are, anywhere that we know or suspect we've got a hydrant on a 4-inch line, that's a gimme. That line has to be upgraded. And then the next thing was anywhere we had more than 67% of the lead service lines on any given street with an old service line.
Service line.
So those were the next. Then we have,
Now, when you said that, you mean an old main service line?
yes, sir.
Okay, because we're talking lead service lines and now main service lines.
Right.
Okay.
And so it was that combination where we had 67% of lead service lines plus a main line that was in disrepair, or
An old.
an old line that's kind of at its life.
Okay.
So those were the automatics. And then our next tier that we're looking at is where we know we have one or the other of those. We may not have both of those conditions happening. Or we just know we've had some problems here in the past. And then we'll kind of round out the project with that material.
So we prioritize certain things.
Yes, sir.
It's some things we have no choice on.
Some
Lead
things-
service lines, number
Yep.
one.
Yep.
Followed by galvanized lines, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Any questions?
Shelby, have anything to add?
No, we're just working together on phase 3A with pressure and 3B. If you need anything, always reach out.
Okay, thanks, Shelby.
Yep.
We don't have any actionable items on that. agenda item, so we're gonna move on to,
Before you move on, let me say
Uh-huh.
something too. You know, our meetings are recorded and people watch it at home, so like television, so we would be remiss by not recognizing our county commission president, Susan Thomas. Thanks for being here today. And I'm sure you're interested in the Shoreline project and other things to deal. that under your purvey, things you're in charge of. We also welcome back Charles Young from the newspaper.
Welcome back.
Good seeing you today, being with us, and everybody else are pretty much familiar faces, so. Right? And they are familiar, but they don't attend our meetings. Okay, you want to get on that to the
Yeah,
snake
Snake
Hollow?
Hollow Road Waterline Extension Project, that project moved along, so tell us how it's going.
I'll ask Bobby to do that as well.
All right, Bobby. You're the
Bobby,
man with
you
all
can
the
move-
answers.
Bobby, we're gonna move you to the front row.
That's all right, I'll stay back.
Or is that the Bobby section back
That's
there?
the
Two
Bob
Bobbies.
section back there.
Back to you, of course.
Two Bobbies.
They moved in last Monday, started laying new line on Tuesday. So they worked 4 days last week. They worked 1 day this week, a little bit more. They've got about 2,000 feet in already. Dressed the ditch up, looks nice. They put in some rock line ditch, so,
Great.
they hit a little bit of rock, slowed them down a little bit, but they're moving right along.
What's the anticipation, how much construction time?
They said 6 weeks. I think they'll be quicker than 6 weeks. The rate they're going.
So,
I mean, they're already asking for
Weather
meter setters.
permitting. Weather permitting, what's that?
They're already asking Bobby for meter setters and stuff,
Yeah.
so that they must have high.
Yeah, well, they're their first service already, so, yeah.
great.
Well, I mean,
First area of the first service, yeah.
yeah, and think about it, we've got 40% of the water line in a week and a half, so.
So what happens if we don't have stuff to work around, right?
Yep. Yeah, if you've got a wide open area, they can fly.
So they've already got the hydrant in then.
No, their hydrants, they received the wrong hydrants. They
They're
weren't.
not too far from that, right?
No, they've got a hydrant to put it, they stepped in maybe a couple hundred feet from the tie-in point because they didn't have that hydrant and started laying lines. So they've got to come back across Snake Hollow Road, set a hydrant and then do the
Yeah,
tie-in.
there's two, right?
There's
at
two,
the-
one at the beginning and
and
one.
one down toward the end. Okay.
Yeah.
You went up the main road and then down further, is that what it is?
Yeah, there's one right at the end
At
of
the
Snake Hollow
intersection.
Road, then one up, the houses are mainly at the end of Snake Hollow, so that's where the other hydrant.
This is just a little over the halfway point, right?
Right.
Any questions on Snake Hollow, guys? Okay,
I'd
thank
say
you.
it's not gonna take that long.
No,
They're already that far.
Great job.
Okay, and you have nothing to add to that one, right? Because you're helping us with that one.
No, I'm just waiting on a payout.
And it'll probably be coming, right? First-
Yeah,
Are they
they
on the
had
same
one-
schedule?
Theirs ended the 23rd also, so.
Yeah,
they
you'll have
should-
two of them.
Yeah, there's two, it should just be two, really.
It's great. It's good news. All right, second street pump station project. I know I got everything recorded and
Yep, all documents have been signed, recorded, so forth, so they should be under production now. I will give you an update on the anticipated completion date once we get that information from them.
what is your expectations? You're looking at 6 months out?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be 6, just because of the
So we're looking at
electronics.
late fall?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've dealt with it this long, haven't we, Bob? It's, at least we know there's an end in sight.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, at least it's moving, so we're moving.
Okay.
No questions.
No questions, okay?
All right,
All right, TTHM, Shelby and I, we're gonna, meet tomorrow morning and, we have, so what's happened here on this project is, we got the sole source.
That's great.
Okay. But now they're looking at the project, narrative and they're looking at a new budget. Because remember, when we first submitted this project, it was only 8 tanks. Well, now we got 9, including the clear well now. So that's a change of scope, change of project narrative. So I think that's gonna be an easy change for her to make. It's just when we start looking at the budget. I've got the numbers in from Wes, which is Wiggins Engineering Services. Got those numbers back. We're gonna talk about those tomorrow, and then we are going to revamp the budget. The way we had the budget, it was all split up, and now everything's inclusive now under contract, under one vendor. So we get with her in the morning and we'll get that sorted out. We'll probably have it out by the end of the week because it's really not that.
Yeah.
It's really not that much. The biggest thing she needed was the numbers. And I've got those down.
Just
to share
some
with her.
changes to the narrative,
Yeah.
that the project officer has asked for, and then some executive orders are also in place, and our approach kind of changed. So add that all in and get our scope change approval and budget approval.
Yeah, she
So
texted,
everybody
or she emailed today, said, they're ready for it. So
Mhm.
hopefully we get that fast turnaround. We want to get a notice to proceed, hopefully
before hot
by
weather
next
comes.
week.
Are
by
we
the end of
looking,
next week.
are we looking around like 10% increase with the effective then?
Just a few things that went up, a few things, but there's a few things that stayed the same. So it's gonna be a little increase, but we still have enough grant to cover everything.
Questions on this? Okay, let's move on to the summit.
The O&M agreement between Clarksburg Water Board and Short Line Public Service District. As of about hour and a half ago, I've got the third resignation from the Shoreline Public Service District Board. All three, Jeff, I got Jeff's just a little bit ago. So I've got all three board members' resignations effective
No,
June
you
30th.
might explain that a little bit, because again, we have people who are novices listening, they have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, we're,
Tell them what the
and,
procedure is, why we're doing this. and so
Tim Straker's also got an update for this, which is going to be really, really good. And it's all coming in timing, and I'm glad you're here to see it, because he just got it about an hour ago.
Tim's joining us. by
Tim's, yeah,
Video.
Tim is on Zoom with us here. So Al, Tim, you're on. I see your name. You just turned this camera on.
Well, I didn't turn it off. The power's off here. So I'm on my phone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we hear you
Gotcha.
fine.
Yes, wow. Dedication right there, Steve.
Well, he tried to get here, but there was a wreck on the interstate.
Yeah.
And he turned around and went back to working.
Okay.
I've got a longer story about my attempt to attend today, but I won't go into that now.
Don't turn around and get on Zoom. That's no problem at all.
But Jason's
So-
referring to the order for the administrative law judge that was just published today. And I'll tell you, we flogged that thing out of the PSC, but we got it. And it's approving the operations and maintenance agreement with Shortline.
Oh, good.
There's a 10-day appeal period if any of the parties want to object to any terms of the order, which I can't imagine would happen. So we are in 10 days with a final order and good to go. So the objective the board gave us was to get this done by the beginning of the next fiscal year, and we've made our objective.
Tim, our manager was talking about the resignation of the people who are, the three people serving on the board out there, Gene and Jeff.
Yeah,
Gary,
Al and I
And
attended.
we
their
went to
board
a meeting the other day, the two of us.
Yeah, the last Thursday evening, Al and I went to their meeting. And they wanted an update of kind of where we were, and I brought them up to date on everything we've done so far, and we're at a really good place right now. Bob Davis has been in there, got a pretty good handle of the tanks and all the things that he needs to do. Bobby Pizzini's been over there a lot of times, and is getting a better feel for the system and how they operate. And of course, we've spent many days with the admin
Right.
staff learning how they do things. We actually had the admin staff in here for 1 week of training, so things are going great. We're in a good position. We went over after we explained all that. I told them that as of, I would like to have their resignations to submit to the county commission with an effective date of June 30th, 2025.
Right.
They did. We had one member absent, two members that were there, which was Gary Fain and Eugene Rogers. We got their resignations. And then Jeff Circle came in today and signed his. So we've got all three board members resigning June 30th next month. And those are going to be submitted to Susan. I'll probably email to you tonight. And then she'll go get it on the agenda. And then, of course, Tim and I, and whoever else wants to go will be there. Tim will present the resignations and the reasoning for it. And I think he's going to get with Trey as well. So you're all kind of advised. What we're asking the commission to do is to appoint the Clarksburg Water Board as the acting
Board.
board for Shortline PSD until the PSD is dissolved.
Right.
And that's another step. We've got to apply to the Public Service Commission again. And the county commission has to approve that, send it to county commission, or send it to Public Service Commission. And I don't know how long that's going to take, but we're operating it anyway.
Well, it's kind of like a no-brainer. I try to explain things simply. The way I understand it is, if we had an existing board there and we had a board and we're calling the shots on operations and maintenance, and you got a board out there, it'd be totally confusing. You either got to have one or the other. And since we're taking the
They're
responsibility,
just setting that.
and they're happy to do that. Yeah.
I said, well, there's really no purpose for you after June 30th.
And this is not a forced thing. It's just a
Right.
matter
No,
of
they-
it's necessity. That's all.
I mean, that's it. The thing is they've done the best thing for the utility. And I congratulated them on that. It's a hard decision to make.
Yeah.
But honestly, they're doing the best thing for their customers.
And I appreciate you all.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you working with us. I mean,
And they've been very,
she's
very
been a
good to
champion
work with.
through.
It went a whole lot easier than I thought.
And the county commission working with them too.
Yeah.
I mean, all these people came together. I never saw anything move so smoothly
I
to
had
this point.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
And I hope other future things go as smoothly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but she's been a true champion, I'm not speaking for her, you can jump in. But the county commission, one of their goals is to combine where it makes sense.
Yes.
Public service districts and,
Thank you.
water board. Where it makes sense is to consolidate. I don't like to use that word, but it is what it is. Merger, consolidation, whatever it is. But
Now,
big champion for this, and I thank you for that.
Mr. Manager, now what's our next step with this agreement and so on?
For
Is this
this, the county commission needs to meet. Their next meeting is the fourth. Is it too late to, it's not too late to get her on there, is it?
No.
Okay, so she'll have this matter. Did you get that, Tim?
Yes, sir.
June 4th at 10?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So the no act on that, and then appoint the Clarksburg Water Board as the acting board on behalf of the Short Line Public Service District. So then we're off and running, we'll dive in there on July 1st and start doing our thing. It's gonna be a little transition, but we're gonna communicate with their customers by mail, let them know what to expect over the next month or so as we transition operations over to our office over here.
Okay.
How many customers they have?
1,200.
1,200, and it goes clear over into the inside of Wetzel County, so we're actually going to cross over down towards, well, not all the way down, I can't remember some of those towns, but it goes across the border there for a little.
Yeah. We've already been in several meetings with Eric Sherrard with Thrasher, that's the Thrash, that's their engineer record is. that's who's
So
been
that's
assigned
nice
over
too,
there.
because they have the familiarity with it, knowledge
Yeah,
of
and
it.
I've already met with him and the girl that's working with him.
Actually, for,
Does that sound right?
Harley.
That's it. That's the word. So I got a pretty good feel for their project right now. That's $3.5 million project. $1 million of it was grant. They have a $2.5 million debt that will absorb. We'll have to work with the city on that. Tom Amon will help us on all that, get everything refinanced, all that kind of stuff. But all that has to happen after July.
Well, it's kind of nice because they have maintained their system pretty good. And a matter of fact, they're putting in new radio read meters and several things going on. So, and that comes under the financing they already have in place.
Correct.
But we'll just absorb managing all that. Okay, anything else on short line?
No, one more piece of information I want to provide you. We can officially dissolve them. I mean, we can, but it just will make it so much easier in the transition. We have to wait till their project is completed. This
Yes.
$3.5 million project that they have. Yeah, ongoing right now, because we'd have to get new contracts signed with the contractor. We have to, they have to get new performance bonds, payment bonds. It just would convolute everything. And it doesn't hurt. We're operating it anyway. A name change is not really that big of a deal for us. So we'll wait. They're supposed to be done around April, May of next year. They have no reason not to be done. And we're going to be steering that project July 1st moving.
So we're taking over the operation maintenance.
Yeah.
July 1, and then later on the actual pure acquisition.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
anything?
everybody that we're going to be working with over there, I've worked with in the past. Eric, I worked with him on projects when I was at Parsons.
Mhm.
And the contractors, Green River, over there, we worked with them on the project out here. So it's people we're familiar with and we work with before, so. But we got a pretty good hand on what's going on over there, so.
And I know Bobby's been out there to do things and so on.
And Jason's got the
Jason's
books
been on the
already.
financial
Jason's
side.
got the books split up. And we're supposed to be going, I think we'll make it tomorrow. We gotta go down and do a lockbox at the post office in Charleston.
Right.
That lockbox is gonna be affiliated to the state treasurer's office to process, 'cause we're gonna be processing two
Two
separate
different
bills now.
accounts.
So we're gonna go down there and get all that taken care of. So is the guy from the treasurer's office gonna be there tomorrow? I know you say wasn't gonna be there Tuesday.
You're gonna be there Tuesday, I'm
We'll have to find out.
I'll have to find out, but I should be there tomorrow.
So we'll get everything set up this week.
So Jason, with our finance guys, will be using his right hand and left hand, two accounts and everything.
Yes.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
move, anything else on
No,
that?
that's it. And I told y'all last time that Clyde's got all the billing information. He's already
And converting it,
getting everything converted over.
good deal. We okay to go to Summit Park now
Yeah.
for
Any
discussion?
questions on the O&M agreement? I know I jumped all over the place, but all in all, we're ready for it.
Right.
We're ready to.
Okay.
Okay, you all probably wondered how in the world did this appear on here just out of the blue? Well, obviously the board in the background's been working on this for some time now. We've already had one attempt
Yeah, you then.
last year, right? But it's a different atmosphere now, different mindset over there.
Yeah.
And I gotta thank her because I try not to divulge too much information, but she had some of the members from that board approach her about some things, and actually approached me too. But we were being handicapped because if we take the water, we had nobody to take the sewer because we were not in the sewer business, don't want to be. So I've been touching base with some folks in the surrounding areas, some PSDs that may be interested in taking over the sewer side. I went to the city first. You know, they were putting out some things that I know wasn't going to fly by taking the sewer over there. So I let it sit for a little bit and I readdressed it. And Tiffany from the sanitary board was interested.
Tiffany Fell,
Tiffany
city
Fell.
manager.
Yeah. She was interested in, let's talk about it. So we got Tim Stranko, myself, Jason Lane, Drew Eddy, and Larry Yoder's all met in Tiffany's office, and we discussed going jointly and taking over Summit Park. Tim, you want to jump in there because you presented two options: was what we're doing with short line O&M or doing a straight out acquisition. You want to talk from there?
Yes, sir. So the short line transaction, we'll do an O&M, and I think the board's intent is to do that for a year and get to learn that system. Summit Park has got more immediate demands, specifically with the power plant development. So this is a straight acquisition, and you have in your packet the draft asset purchase agreement, which essentially, and purchase is a little misguiding because essentially the PSD would tender all of its equipment and accounts and its franchise rights to the water board and also to the sanitary board in a separate agreement. And the consideration for that is simply that we will provide as the retail provider the water service in that area. It's an agreement that will be, if approved by the PSD board and the water board, would go forward to the Public Service Commission for approval. What we've tried to
Tim,
do.
I was thinking, go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
I was thinking this morning, you know, so we're 50-50 in this. So the water board's taking the water and the city sanitary board's taking the sewer. So we're in this half and half. So what about the building over there? Does that go back to the county commission for to do something with?
Yes.
I would think so.
Okay, so you have a building to get rid of. That's what I thought, but I wanted to make,
It'll be worth it, that's me speaking.
I just wanted to make sure that.
As I understood it in drafting the agreement, Jason, that building's not useful for us
No, I mean, we're too
Are you
close.
sure?
or for the sanitary board.
And then the proceeds from that sale just goes back into your coffer, so if we need some more money, we'll get that from you. Not just-
I see why I'm here now.
So, I've talked to, the general manager, well, it was before all this came out, but I was supposed to call her today, but being in mediation all morning and get ready for the meeting, I didn't get to call her, so I'll call her in the morning. Evidently, they must have asked for that to be placed on the agenda, so she called me. Mary Beth and I are friends, professional.
But their board members seem to be very. good.
Oh, yeah, to the board member, that's all it takes. Two's
Paul's
fine.
been out there, I've been out there, you've been there. So anyway,
Yeah, again, going back to short line, this is the best
Yes.
thing for their customers.
And they don't have a lot of customers, and I mean, it's the best thing.
Well, 500, I think.
you're talking,
$400
you just said short line, you meant Summit Park.
Summit Park. Yeah, there's too many.
And Tim, I want to thank you for all the work you've done on both these projects myself. You and
It's a
Trey.
pleasure, Commissioner. It's a pleasure.
Yeah,
And it's, you know, it's legacy work and it couldn't happen without your leadership.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you.
definitely.
And
And
I would be remiss to let you all know that during that meeting, of course, Susan had no idea what we were doing because it's just one of those last minute, let's meet. And we did, and everything just went very smooth, didn't it, Tim? I mean, we were agreeing, the sanitary board was agreeing. I mean, we couldn't.
Everybody was agreeing, you say, we better talk to Susan.
Yeah, so I went out in the hallway, called Susan. I said, I didn't want to just call you up in the middle of all this and just open my phone up. So I went out, told her what was happening and everything. So then I brought her in and then she had some questions, you know, and there was some requests from the city side. that she's got to take to her, her fellow commissioners to decide on. But the thing is we came together and we agreed and we're launching it. Tim quickly turned this purchase agreement around. Susan's been a true champion with our connection, our communications from here to Summit Park Board, because she's got some friends on there, so that's made things really nice too. So Susan is going to be at that meeting as well as we are going to be. I think it's on the 9th, June 9th, I believe is what it is. I think it's June 9th is when they meet, so we'll be over there. And Tim represents both the sanitary board and the Clarksburg Water Board, so he'll be doing the presentation over there. Susan will be there to support us.
And the rest of the county commissioner, we kept it up.
Yes, oh, yes, I've already had the discussion.
And I think,
with one,
I'm sure they would like
and it's not one that you, and it's not the one that you think.
Okay.
I do think if I could interject, Jason, your
Sure.
question about the disposition of the building suggests that we need to be a little more clarity in the asset purchase agreement to make sure that everybody's clear on how that building will be handled. So with that amendment, I would recommend the APA be approved by the board.
There you go.
I'll make a motion to approve the amendment and the agreement.
Been moved and seconded. We've had a lot of discussion here. All in favor, say aye.
Very good. I'll send you the copy of it once he makes the amendment, just so you'll have it. You can share it with them. I don't have their email address. All right, Jason, I'm gonna let you take care of this one here, the audit selection committee. So what the board needs to do is to consider appointments to serve on the audit selection committees. Jason, you want to
It's
explain?
an appointment, right?
Yeah.
Who served the last time? Do you remember?
I believe it was you last
I
time.
thought it was.
Yeah.
There two of us?
No, it's the
It's
audit
just
committee-
one person for the board.
Yeah, and then it's me and the general manager.
So that's,
And you rank people and score them and everything. Yeah. From the applicants.
the recommended appointments are Al Cox, Jason Farrell, and Jason Myers.
Who recommended that?
Me.
I second that.
Wait, you got the word wrong. It used to be rotation, not railroad.
It's voluntold nowadays.
Well, okay. You want to do it?
Yeah, I make a motion to approve.
I was gonna say-
I second that.
Wait, all in favor, say
Call it
aye.
an election. I wanna do it.
You got me laughing.
I take guidance from our general manager. I take his recommendations.
I have,
Let me put myself on there.
Do I get extra pay or just a cup of coffee?
A cup of coffee and some dark chocolate.
Okay. All righty. Let's
You have
move on.
something to say,
then.
Jason?
yes, bids are required to be in by June 6th. So they should be in by next Friday. I've already had it out for a couple weeks already. And I've already received 2 bids. We'll plan on, we'll probably meet maybe an hour or half hour.
Was there
before-
a cutoff date on the bidding?
Yes, June 6th cutoff.
Oh, is the cutoff date?
Yeah, that's the last day at the end of the day of June 6th by 4 o'clock.
And then as far as us going through the process.
We'll do that on the next board meeting day.
Okay, I just
We'll
wanted
we'll probably do it like an hour before the board meeting, we'll just, like we normally do, it should only take maybe 45 minutes. to go
I know,
through it
I've
all.
done it before, so it's no big deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Jason.
Your recommendations will be brought back at the next meeting on
Okay.
June the
All right. What else? do we
11th.
have?
They always close. That says the recommendations be presented on June 11th.
Yes.
Okay.
We're down to our reports and so on.
Yes, does anybody from the board have any reports or comments to make?
I just want to thank Commissioner Thomas for taking her time on a rainy evening coming here. So thank you very much. And everything you've done for us, so we can do it. Thank you.
It's for the citizens. It's for
Thank you very much.
Yeah, she's awesome to work with.
You know, Susan, I've been on this board 25 years. Back a long time ago, we were talking about some of these things, these PSDs and so on. County Commission has always been supportive. Like, I can't say every member, but the County Commission generally has been supportive. And it's so neat to see after this time, it's all coming together.
And I know it's been talked about for years.
Isn't that true?
Yes.
And
Thanks for Gina
thanks.
taking notes.
Yes, I need her.
Okay,
That's hard for me to take notes.
how about around the room? Anybody else have anything?
Paul, surely you got something to say.
Hey, Paul, look in their dark chocolate, it's got red labels on it. Anyway, Susan, are your meetings as informal as ours?
No, probably not as informal.
Usually more
We really, you know,
It's
More
not
yelling.
too bad. It's really not.
Well, I was thinking that's probably the reason why you don't have these, you know, I mean, for the expense of running.
we really,
That's why they're underneath the counter. You got it right, Chad.
we really, as this board, Paul knows, he knows I've been on a long time. We've always worked very good together. We don't always agree. But most of the time we do, about 95% of the time, if not more.
Learn to agree to disagree.
But the thing is our meetings, I don't mind coming. We don't have a lot of bitterness or anything like that, or people on crazy agendas.
Yeah, I mean, you're all very professional, even when you do disagree, it's.
And we enjoy our meetings. You
At the
see,
end
we
of the
kind
day.
we kind of have a lightheartedness about it, but it's very, very serious what we do though. Okay, and I hate for meetings to be so dry and cold and dreary. We can do that. All right, anything else?
Employee reports, Bob, Davis, do you have anything?
No, I have no idea what goes on.
You see, you heard that, didn't you?
Yeah.
He's our media expert.
Bobby Fazzini and I went up to the school today and
Sure,
did
yeah.
some interviews, with
How'd
some
that go?
students. Went really well. We had, 6 applications, kind of narrowed it down to 2 for, treatment plant and 2 for distribution.
The pre-apprentice program. Hey,
Awesome.
thanks to the newspaper, you know, the media, you came through, of course, you're the only media that covered it. Thank you. No, we have Bobby and Bobby. This is a tough meeting to sort of out.
That's great, Bob, I'll have time to catch up with you on that. So,
Yeah, we'll talk to you. I guess we're gonna talk to you in the morning and then you can let Miss Beckett know that.
Yeah, she sent me an email.
Well, that's newsworthy that we just had that, those kids here and everything, and you've had the applications and so
Had
on.
6 of them,
Yes, so.
Awesome.
The only thing else
good
I have-
applicants, I was told.
Again, working with the Board of Education, the
And I-
schools.
so we had 6, and we really only have room for 2 here and 2 down below. Any more than that would be unmanageable, but
Sure.
and Bobby can't take care of himself back, because Bobby's busy. So, I mean,
Which
he's
Bobby?
gonna,
You're talking
he's
about.
gonna have 2, 2 kids down there. I mean,
Picking
these
on
kids
you,
are
Bob.
juniors, so I mean, they're,
Okay.
they're mature kids. But,
Oh,
you know,
my.
he's a bad influence, so I'll probably have to have somebody else like Frank or somebody down there helping. But I think that's great. I think that's great. So, kids are starting to talk at school and want to get interested in our industry. I love it. I love it.
We actually have a freshman that's ready to come already.
Wow.
Well, you know, you look at it,
So,
you have
it's
all,
hard to tell them, say, listen, you gotta wait a little bit.
you know, you have all these schools, different organizations, and employment fairs and occupational fairs. You never hear anybody talk about becoming a water operator or, you know, working in water distribution. That's where this all came around. State organization, us, and everybody, it worked out really good. But see, a lot of these operators, they'll age, they'll retire, and you cannot just walk in the door, become an operator. You got certification, a lot of very skilled things to do, and they're all really good paying jobs, any place you work here, and good benefits, so, you know. We're glad that community understands, we employ people now.
EPA section.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
is that it, guys?
He's got another thing,
The EPA's coming in, what is it, the 10th?
the 10 through the 12.
10th through the 12th of June. I've never, in my 30 years, at least 30 years from me, I've been in this business, I've never seen the EPA ever come out and give a tour, take a tour of your plant and all that stuff. Usually you're, like a Fairmont District office, they do a sanitary survey. Well, I guess the big boys are coming out. They've done visited Fairmont and Morgantown, so, we get to,
Third time's a
Now
charm.
we take the best. Yeah, and we get to take them
Save the
around,
best for
so.
last.
I mean, they're gonna find something, that's their job, they'll find something to write us up with, you know, hopefully that's what we kind of talked to Sarah and told her, is that, you know, are you gonna give us time to fix it, you're just gonna come in and find us? You know, cause that's been hard,
He
Kinda-
was just straight up, I said,
Yeah,
okay.
You know, when you have government,
yeah,
people come in, and I used to be on radio, and we'd have FAA and FC, Federal Communications Commission inspections. They look at engineering and all kinds of stuff. And I managed a radio station in Cumberland and also worked at WHAR, and they look at everything. Out there, the only thing they could find, they stood there and counted that red light on the tower, how many times it blinked. It blinked one time, too fast a minute. They wrote stuff. And in Cumberland, Maryland, they couldn't find anything, but at the antenna sites, we have, they call dog houses, little buildings that house the electronic equipment. There was a wasp nest in one of it. They wrote us up on that.
Oh, my gosh.
So they have to write up something, so we prepared for it.
Oh,
That's
no,
to
I
sh-
know.
To show they were here.
I used the example of the GM, we used to have this guy that did sanitary survey, or not sanitary, CTRs.
Yeah.
And he'd approve for the state. Well, you would take that same exact CCR that he approved the year before, and the only thing you did was put your data in from this year, and he would find a bunch of stuff wrong.
Same thing we
It
had.
was the same thing you had that he approved last year.
Yeah.
You know, so it's their job too, so.
We're gonna go into an executive session.
Oh,
Normally
Bob,
take-
Pizzini, do you have anything?
Bob, Bobby.
Got nothing.
Yeah, one more thing though, if I can, talking about short line, the 2nd of June, we have our SCADA guy, Jeff Adler, coming in. And we're gonna start trying to get, communication back to here,
Back and forth.
for the pump station, at least get their pump station and, the J farm tanks communicating back here, cause right now, nothing's working for them. We went over and tried to help fix them, but their equipment's obsolete. And Sitco can't get them, the chip that they need and load it.
Yeah, we heard,
So that's going on.
we heard that at the meeting we were at.
Yeah, they actually had that device that you took off
The
up
pump
there.
station, is that the one
Has
down
the
towards
chip
Edgewood?
with Missing some prongs on it.
Right, but that,
Is that what it is?
yeah, it was already broken to begin with.
But that's close enough in our proximity at Edgewood, the pump station.
Yeah, and like I said, Adler's pretty sure he can get everything back here.
Well, that'd be good. Okay, I keep saying we're ready to go.
Bobby Pizzini, what about what's going on down here at the
The money pit?
bulk? The bulk water.
How about the
filling
bulk
station?
water? I noticed you've got things laying across the road and everything.
It's a work in progress. It is money pit.
I went by the other night, I saw, pipe laying across this way and things across the entrances.
We had a block coming in, so we just took the hydrant out,
Yeah.
put a hydrant on the other side of the driveway down there. So they're using it. It's just, we won't go down and mess with it today, but,
One more, I was thinking about this the other night. Right down here where you go, the entrance into your facility there,
Mhm.
the bulk station we used to use there, that hydrant.
Mhm.
Are we gonna put something there or just?
the
close it?
hydrant's there, I just keep it covered so the water bottle won't get on it. Fire department knows it's usable. Just
Okay,
pull the back
I just-
off of it.
I just wondered what happened to it.
Yeah, we didn't.
Keep
wanna-
it covered, they don't come in a lot.
I'm not trying to hurry the meeting along, but let me ask you guys.
They don't need them a lot.
What about flushing?
What?
Hydrant flushing.
Oh, we,
Hey, you want
we
me to
did
do a
that.
report for you?
Well, I mean, you flushing, we're doing all kinds of flushing, but they, Adamson's about done. A little bit left at Country Club.
Did you run any water down across, Tony's driveway or anything like that, so we can get it cleaned down there? Look.
Tony who?
I saw you guys over there today.
Yeah,
Now, Lloyd Avenue, Lloyd Street, whatever. out at
It's
Country
done.
Club,
it's
Everything
complete.
is done there,
Yeah, I was reported last
and
night.
that should save us.
Oh, $100,000 plus.
All right, now.
Is there anything
this-
else?
This is about the fifth
No,
time.
sir,
Well,
just
make a
waiting on the
motion
weather
to
to
go.
clear up so we can get back at the money pit.
Anybody? Okay, we're gonna go into an executive session, make a motion, but I want to mention something. We normally take a 5-minute break or so. Always do this, we work with our media people. And when we go to an executive session, if we would come out and do something, what do? We call the media and tell them if there was an action. And we had a good working relationship. The other thing we've done is during this break, it gives the newspaper people, or gives us TV here, a chance to do their little sound bites or news, things they want to follow up questions, and then we go to our executive session. So we're going to take about a 10-minute break or so. And Charles, if you want to grab Jason or whatever, you can do that. Let's have a motion. to go ahead.
And Mr. President, the executive session is authorized under subparagraph 12, attorney-client privilege.
Yes. We need to cite that code.
I'll call him back on my phone.
We'll put that
Make a
in there.
motion that we get an executive session
It's-
under West Virginia 698 12 attorney-client privilege.
Yes, that's the motion. Any further question? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.